My name is Paula Cisneros, and I will be presenting my critical media project. So, gender stereotypes being reinforced by mainstream media, more specifically magazine covers. Magazine covers underrepresent the diversity of our society. Media is pushing the American beauty standards and cis heteronormativity. Essentialism is present in these magazine covers, and they're telling us who should you look like, who should you be dating, and what you should be doing. All right, so a little bit of background. Gender is a social concept, and by that I mean it's something that society has came together and agreed on something. So if you're a woman, that means you were born with XY chromosomes. If you're a man, you were born with XX chromosomes, and there's certain gender roles that you're tied to. There's expected roles from men and women, but there's a clear divide. There's a very, very different, men are expected to do one thing, women are supposed to be doing something. And gender roles look different for people in different geographical locations. So, for example, someone across the globe, their gender roles are completely different of what we would see here in our society. Men and women from different countries have different and unique issues, experiences, and values around the world. So, what is a gender stereotype? According to United Nations, it defines gender stereotype as a generalized view or preconception about attributes or characteristics or the roles that ought to be possessed by or performed by men and women. So gender stereotypes are presented in magazine covers. Magazine covers for women such as Vogue, 17, Women's Health. These magazines target mostly women, and they use words and phrases in bold, such as beach body, fabulous, beautiful, pretty hair, glam, sparkly, flat tummy. And here's some of our examples of the magazine covers. Here you can see glam, pretty skin. It's talking about being skinny, lean, how to drop sizes. And here you can see young white women. And there's not, and most of the magazine covers that I went over, there are some diversity, but this is what you will see most of the time. And here you can look at the colors. The colors are bright yellow, orange, even the blues are a little bit brighter, the red, and all of these are tied to females, and you can see that in them, the differences between magazines targeting women and magazines targeting men. The color difference is very obvious. And so going back to where's the inclusivity, you can see hegemonic femininity in here. Most of the women here are young, white, heterosexual, thin women. Like I said before, there is some diversity, but this is what you will see most of the time. 9 out of 10 times that's what you will see in these magazine covers. And also I wanted to talk about a little bit about exclusionary femininity. So basically gatekeeping womanhood. And one example that I wanted to talk about was there's not a lot of transgender women being represented in these magazine covers. The big ones that I can think about are, whenever Caitlyn Jenner was being represented on the cover of Vogue magazine, and there was a lot of backlash when that happened. And another example of exclusionary femininity would be Dylan Mulvaney. She was put as the face for Bud Light a couple months ago, and there was a lot of backlash on that. A lot of people were angry that she was being represented, And she also won Woman of the Year. And a lot of females, I was scrolling through TikTok, through Instagram, you know, all the big social media platforms, and she was just getting a lot of hate, you know, and the sole reason was because, you know, she was born a male and transitioned into a female. And so I was thinking a lot about exclusionary femininity while I was doing this, because you really don't see a lot of transgender women, and whenever you do, there's a lot of backlash from both sides, you know, male and female, you know, and I really think that that is very obvious. So, and going back to men, magazine covers for men, you know, magazine covers such as Men's Health, Sports Illustrated, and all of that, they use words and phrases in bold such as muscles, beat the pain, strong, man up, sex, boss, lead, adrenaline, bold, and all of these descriptive words, you know, more often than not, you would relate these to men. You know, you wouldn't describe a woman, you know, as you know, you wouldn't say these words when you're talking about a woman. And so here are some examples of this. You know, you can see here, stronger than ever, and they're being represented as men are being represented as muscular. You know, they're in a defensive stance. They look intimidating, and you can see the one in the middle, that man just is not smiling compared to, you know, the magazine covers for women. They were smiling, they were showing teeth, they just looked happy. And these men have more of a defensive look. You know, they're in a defensive stance, showing off their muscles, showing off their strength. And like I said, you know, the colors here are not as bright as the ones that were presented in the covers for women. You know, there's a lot of dark colors, you know, a lot of black, a lot of dark red. And so yeah, this is just an example of you know, the stereotypes being drawn or related to men. And it supports toxic masculinity because, you know, magazine covers for women show idealized images of masculinity in male bodies. So this is what a man should look like, you know, strong, athletic, built. And many would say that this is, you know, how a man should look like, and this is really all that you see in magazine covers, you know. So this man would be described as charming, ambitious, confident, and that's just toxic masculinity, because if you're anything other than that, then you're seen as, you know, there's a misinformation here. You know, not everybody looks like this. Not everybody is going to look like this. So what messages are we receiving through these magazine covers? You know, beauty standards, cis heteronormativity, sexist ideologies, and gender hierarchy. So the differences in beauty standards, you know, men are represented to look intimidating, strong, and defensive, and women are pictured to represent beauty, flawlessness, and they look more approachable compared as to, you know, a man. Sexist ideologies and gender hierarchy in magazine covers. As you can see again, there is a man in a suit, and the magazine covers, what I notice is that they're either in a suit or they're in gym attire, and women are usually in dresses with their perfect hair, perfect makeup. And so magazine covers have been criticized in the past for promoting gender stereotypes. Wang in 2020 stated that our understanding of gender differences is shaped starting at a young age. Therefore, sexist magazine covers can mislead growing minds into what they are seeing on mainstream media, and they will believe that that is the social norm. Magazine covers send out the message that girls should be feminine and boys should be leaders, and this information is being absorbed by minds that are being molded by these ideologies. So, for example, teenagers, male and female, they're looking at these pictures and they're thinking, this is what I should look like, this is what I should be doing, this is who I should be dating, so on, so on. And so I have 3 questions after researching this topic. How do we truly fight against the war of gender stereotypes in magazine covers? How do we fight this if it is virtually impossible to be 100% equal, diverse, inclusive, all in the cover of a magazine? I mean, I know it can be done, but how can we be inclusive in all of this on just the cover of one magazine? And will fighting gender stereotypes represented on magazine covers make an impactful change? And if we are inclusive, will this just be, something, will it be small? Will it make a big impact? Will people notice? All right. Thank you so much.